Hi there. Today I've been thinking about goals and next actions and motivation, and specifically about goals that aren't mandatory. And my first thought, because I was watching some videos this morning where people in the planner community mentioned their goals for May and so on. And that's all fine and well, except when you have an inner rebel that says no way as soon as you plan something that's not, you don't go to jail if you don't do it, you just get disappointed in yourself. It's hard, sometimes, as I mentioned in another video, you do more if you don't plan, if you just follow your instincts and you're spontaneous and you just paint a whole room in 3 days because you just felt like it, as opposed to planning it out, setting up a project spread in the project section and, listing all the next actions. Sometimes, my brain doesn't work like that, and I think I'm not the only one. But the fact remains that there are things I would like to do, even though my rebel tries to trip me up. So I was thinking perhaps one way of accomplishing big things, like, for example, me and my husband, we're hoping to have a yard sale in June, because there's this day when lots of people have yard sales, so we would like to do it as well on that day. So of course we need to prepare, we need to gather stuff that we want to get rid of, we need to put it in a specific place where it's easy to bring it out into the yard when it's time. But it's not anything that either of us feels like doing. So, at any given point in the day. So I was thinking, yesterday I talked about removing fizzy drinks from the counter in the kitchen, and I thought this morning maybe gathering things for the yard sale should also be a micro habit. And if it's just, one bad pen, and I don't mean bad as in won't work for anybody, but let's say that, like this one. Okay, what you heard just now was my pen drawer, which is overflowing with stuff, pens. So this is a silver pen that I haven't used since I was 12. So why not get rid of it? And if you have a micro habit to gather one thing a day for this yard sale, this could be it. I want to get rid of this. Okay, I'll put it in a special box and I can mark that habit as done. Of course, we're now on the 5th of May and this yard sale will take place in the beginning of June, so I only have a month. That means 30 things, like 30 pens or pencils, crayons. That's not the goal, obviously, but I'm thinking if you start small and build this habit of sort of putting on those glasses while you walk through your house of, is this something we want to get rid of or not? You open a cupboard and there are things in there that just because you're thinking of it, because you've got it on your habit tracker, maybe you start gathering more stuff than you have to cross off the habit. So I'm trying that out. I have filled it in for today because I did find loads of pencils like this in my office that I never ever use, and there's nothing wrong with them, it's just that I don't like crayons. So maybe that's a way of getting started on these big nebulous projects that just feel overwhelming, that you really want to do, but you really don't want to do it. So I guess I'll report back when I've come down to the 31st and see how it went. Oh, and I always tried out a setup in my work next action section on the IQ list, where there is this thing, big project I need to do, want to do, but it's like, oh, it just feels so irksome every time I think about it. So I thought, why not start that project as well in the form of micro habits, because there is no deadline. It's a deadline, or it's a goal I've set for myself. If I don't do it, no one will care, but it would be good to do it. For me, you know, it would just simplify my life and, you know, take me forward in my work in several different ways. So I thought, why not take the smallest possible step I can imagine pertaining to this project and do it once every day. A bit like my voice memo tracking, where I process a voice memo every day because I have around 2,000 of them and I need to get them down on, well, in a document. It's just 2,000 voice memos full of ideas for my fantasy world. This is something else, but I can follow the same kind of daily habit, I thought, perhaps. Hopefully, wish me luck. I don't have a tracker for work, I only have it for home habits. But I thought on the IQ list spread, I'm just going to try it out, because I do want any work habits to be really small so they would fit on this spread. So maybe I'll put more tiny actions here that I do every day. If there's something, yeah, I have many of those projects where there is no deadline, it's really big and overwhelming, nobody checks in on it, but I do want to get it done. So I'm trying this out with this project. It's, you know, I'm going to put a code in a document for, you know, a phrase every day. Code a phrase every day. And it takes like 15 seconds to locate the document, open it, and put a code, because it's not hard, it's just boring. So I'm thinking, maybe just as with the voice memo processing, I end up putting 5 codes into the document instead of 1. So that's all good, you know, but I don't have to. So it's not this feeling of, oh, I don't even want to open that document because I have 6, well, I have, how much is it, 100 pages to code, and that feels overwhelming. But putting 1 code in there is not overwhelming at all, because it's a really easy task. It's just that the whole thing takes so much time. So it's a case of the classic, every journey begins with a step, you know, inspirational quotes and all that.